The bottom line here, Hunter Biden got a sweetheart deal.
A sweetheart deal.
Oh, sweetheart deal. Oh, this, oh, that.
Hey, guys, Fred Wellman with the MeidasTouch Network. Well, Hunter Biden got a deal, and funny thing happened. Watch.
Continues to show the two-tier system in America. If you are the president's leading political opponent, the DOJ tries to literally put you in jail and give you prison time. If you are the president's son, you get a sweetheart deal. Now, this does nothing to our investigation. It actually should enhance our investigations because the DOJ should not be able to withhold any information now, saying that because of pending investigation, they should be able to provide Chairman Comer with any information that he requires.
Yep, that didn't take long. Old Speaker McCarthy jumped right in because he's going to talk about this sweetheart deal. Sweetheart deal. That's a weird term. Kind of an old school term, right? A sweetheart deal. I mean, it's not a common term. I mean, whoever uses the term sweetheart deal, or do they? So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how the messaging machine works and how effective it just is and how the people we need to not fall for it keep fucking falling for it. So I'll give you an example. Day starts off, DOJ announced their Hunter Biden deal. As you may know already, he's been charged. He got 2 misdemeanor tax charges, and he got a diversion program for falsely filling out a gun application form. I'm going to leave the legal stuff to smarter people than me because I'm not a lawyer, but what I am is a political consultant. I'm a strategist. Matter of fact, my specialty is communications. What do you know? So let's look. Donald Trump came out with a post right away on Truth Social that says this. You can look at it. Now, read that post very carefully. What don't you see in there? You don't see the term sweetheart deal. That was right after the deal came out. You know, Donald Trump is very online. But then McCarthy came out. Once McCarthy came out, I'm pretty sure the RNC issued their talking points. Why am I pretty sure? Well, here you go. Watch the flood. I mean, you've got the GOP. You've got the GOP Oversight Committee. You've got the Mike Pompeo, Stephen Miller, Tom Cotton. Let's see, Andrew Clyde, Mary Miller of Hitler Was Right fame. Ron DeSantis came out because, you know, Ron can't miss the train. Oh, don't forget, Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz himself. He was a little bit late, though. Matt took a while. He was probably hungover. It took him a while to get his post out. You know, everybody was down for the sweetheart deal. And that's how it works. They issue the talking points, and everybody gets down on it. And you know, the funny thing is we all mock it. I mean, it's funny, right? They're all saying the exact same thing. It's just so ridiculous. Except one thing. It works for the Republicans. Because right away, well, let's start with the New York Times. Michael Schmidt from the New York Times. What's it saying, that little screenshot right there? Sweetheart deal. Hey, MSNBC had their pundits discuss it. Let's check out what MSNBC had to say. Watch the framing.
That this is not some sweetheart deal, but this is pretty standard. My own experience is that first-time tax offenses like this are generally treated pretty leniently, as well as the felony count, which is the pretrial diversion. There's substantial issues that statute may be unconstitutional. So I think that all in all, this seems like a very fair resolution.
Sweetheart deal, baby. And you know what? Let's go to CNN, where we get not one, but 2 sweetheart deals. Minute and a half discussion of this sweetheart deal.
Obviously, you're already hearing a lot of shouting, oh, sweetheart deal, oh, this, oh, that. None of us really knows the details of the possible charges here and exactly what was agreed to as part of this plea, Jennifer. But how does one assess whether this is the type of deal that a normal person, not a president's child, would get in this circumstance?
So you would look to other similar cases, right? So on the gun form charge, it's very, very standard for someone in this situation who lies on the form because they're an addict. The gun is long gone, apparently only had it for a couple of weeks. It's very standard in these circumstances for this diversion to occur and to wipe out the charges, assuming he successfully completes it. So that's totally standard. And the tax fraud is similar as well. I mean, he paid those taxes back a long time ago. That's something that DOJ takes very, very seriously when negotiating negotiating these deals. And I'll also say that Hunter Biden was an addict at the time. And so there was discussion of this back when this investigation got going. When you're talking about a drug addict, you have to think about whether you can prove the mens rea. If this goes to trial, is he going to be able to undercut their case about whether he knowingly and willfully didn't pay his taxes? So given all of that and given similar cases with tax fraud, this is not a sweetheart deal. It's a deal. I think it's a good deal for Hunter Biden in that he will stay out of prison and end up with only 2 misdemeanors on his record. But it's certainly not a sweetheart deal out of line with what happens in the rest of the country.
See how it works? Now, they were disabusing the notion that it was a sweetheart deal, but it took a minute and a half of a legal expert discussing that it's not a sweetheart deal. But it takes me a second to say sweetheart deal, sweetheart deal. And guess what? Everybody in the world is going to hear sweetheart deal because they're not legal experts. See how it works? That's how the machine works. That's how the Republicans do it. And let's be honest, they kind of run circles around us, and it works. But here's the punchline of the whole damn thing. I mean, the ultimate punchline is, do you know who else got the exact same sweetheart deal a couple years ago? Roger Stone. Look, I Googled it. I tweeted it. I Twitter searched it, which Twitter search sucks. Guess what? Not one Republican complained about Roger Stone getting a sweetheart deal. Isn't that weird? It's almost like they think there's 2 tiers of justice. One for Democrats, one for Republicans. Weird, right? I tell you what, man. The Republicans, they got themselves a sweetheart deal. Catch my show every Friday night right here on the MeidasTouch Network. Remember, it's not a sweetheart deal. It's just a pain in the ass. Thanks.
Hey Meidas Mighty, love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram @MeidasTouch to keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.